Oh, how fabulous. Hi there. Welcome to How Fabulous by Toni and Co. I'm Toni, and in today's episode, I chat to a very fabulous lady called Jeanine Phillips from styleahome, right here in Melbourne. So Jeanine and I met through a mutual friend, the gorgeous Mitzi, and she is a fellow stylist, but Jeanine is a real estate stylist, and we'll go into what that actually means. So basically, she is helping people that need to sell their home, spruce it up, make it look fabulous, and get lots of money for it. And there's lots in between that. Now, she is a fellow New Zealander as well. She was actually born in Aotearoa, New Zealand, but grew up in the Cook Islands. And we talk about how that was and how that shaped her and gave her that drive of who she is today. She's a very, go get your kind of lady. Funny as all hell, and smart and lovely. So there's that. So there you go. We chat about lots of different things, and I hope you enjoy listening to Jeanine's story as much as I enjoyed learning about how her life started out and how she got to where she is today. Don't forget to subscribe and follow, and sit back and enjoy. Hello, and welcome to How Fabulous by Toni and Co. I'm Toni, and today my very fabulous guest is Jeanine Phillips from styleahome. Welcome, darling. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Toni.
Now, we were just talking about how incredibly busy you are, so I'm very honoured that you are actually taking time out of your busy schedule to be here, because you're doing this, aren't you?
Correct.
Yeah,
a lot of it.
A lot of it. Now, I'll just what does Jeanine do? So her business is styleahome. So you essentially are a real estate stylist.
Correct.
Tell my guests, what does that actually mean?
Do I talk into the camera? Do I talk into you?
Talk to me, darling. Talk to me.
So, property stylist in Bayside, Melbourne. That's basically where we operate in, and we have our own furniture and our own styling and our own artwork, and my team basically go in and transform your home for the purpose of selling it over a 4 to 6 week period.
So you have to be able to get across lots of different styles, because of course, so if someone is selling a home, they would go to a real estate agent. The real estate agent might have a particular real estate stylist that they use.
Correct.
Or the person that's selling might say, no, I want to use styleahome.
Correct.
And then you go in and have a look at the property and go, okay, keep that, don't keep that, we'll put this in or take it all out, and you style it according to what it is.
Yeah, I think the art of it is to obviously bring out the best in the property. I mean, I know that's common sense. However, we focus a lot on partial styling, which is families who, or maybe that 60, 70, 80 age bracket, where they've decided that they'll sell their home after it's just become too big, maintenance is too much, so therefore they've got items in there. So that's mainly what I focus on in
Right, so they've got the couches, they've got the beds, they'll have a dining table, but it's been a 3-4 bedroom family home for ages. All the kids have gone out, and now they've gone, we want to get a little cute townhouse. Come and sell
Victorian,
our house.
For example, maybe in Brighton.
There you go.
That's quite common. Or we might want to be in a particular street now because we're tired of having to drive somewhere. So they want that freedom. Some are going to Noosa. I think lots of Melbournians now are in Noosa, and therefore we might keep some things. So that part of my services is what I just love. It's really it's really close to my heart to see how they've lived in the 10 plus years or 20 plus years. Now we need to take out some sofas and we need to refreshen it or just give it a bit of a boost. It's, they say, look, come in and just zhuzh it up. And literally that's what we try and do. If it is an existing sofa, we'll use our cushions, but yes, it's a full process. It's quite
and I guess
involved.
The thing is, with a real estate stylist, maybe different from what I would do, is that you're trying to, I guess, make it look as beautiful as it can for photographs.
Correct.
Which doesn't always, when you're styling a forever home, you have more, I guess, clutter, more stuff, more family items, more personal stuff. You are very skilled at being able to strip all of that back and make it beautiful but less clutter, so that when it photographs, it looks as big, clutter-free, stylish as it possibly can, no?
Yeah, I've been doing this for over 10 years, so really seriously forming my business within the last 5 to 6 years. And I guess what the change in culture has been, an understanding of what a stylist does, is not take away the personality and the warmth, which is what I'd like to get away.
Yeah, for sure.
What I'd like to certainly communicate to the fact that it's not sterile, it's not staged as once upon a time it would have been, people would have thought it would have been like. We had a home sale for $550,000 over reserve on last weekend in Hampton, and the buyers said, look, you must be so sad. I spoke to my clients and I speak to them every time after their auctions. And the buyer said, you must be so sad to leave your home. And in fact, he said, we've never lived here. And they said, my goodness, it just feels so warm. And the furniture's so amazing.
And that's the skill. That's the skill involved.
And that's without
making it look too cluttered, because that's the really important thing. Because when a buyer's walking into the house, you don't want to feel like it's somebody else's house.
No.
So you want to be able to walk in and go, this could mean, I could imagine my stuff there, but you have to be able to also show people, I guess, the potential in the house. So, oh yes, that could be a little office, little nook over there. Oh yes, this is how, here's a queen bed in this room, and which takes a real skill to be able to do. And
I'm loving the culture in our industry at the moment towards our clients that we're servicing who thoroughly get it. If I was talking to someone maybe 10 years ago...
Well, a lot of people didn't know what a real estate stylist was.
They were saying, what do you mean I need to take my brown table out?
What is a staged thing? What is staging?
I love my leather sofa, and there's no criticism about that. It's just that colour is just a blockage. We need to have some flow. We need to not just show some space, but just have a beautiful flow. Still fill it with some great furniture and great items and great pieces, which then takes me on to the standard that we must keep, which is a really high standard of furniture, pieces, proper timbers, gorgeous carpets, rugs, coffee tables. I mean, it just stands out now, not just for the pure fact of social media as well as print media and websites. It's when people walk in, they just feel it.
So, and that's a really important part of your job, is about creating that feeling. But first of all, creating an image that people see that, then they want to go and then experience it. Because if that image, like you were saying, and I remember seeing a girlfriend of mine, showed me a picture, and there was a lounge room, and it had, before she'd sort of started staging it, it had this huge, big, massive leather brown. It was very dark brown, and it took up the whole room. And those photos aren't going to entice anybody in there, but you set it up properly, and someone then, a family all of a sudden says, actually, I can see that our whole family could be sitting in here, and it's set up beautifully and it's got attractive colours, so they'll go and see that house. So it's a really important part of it. But going back to this flipping, 10 years ago, people not knowing what a property stylist was, or not seeing the value in it.
That early,
how do you, how why do you think people have actually changed their idea about how important it is to actually get to the point of having your house looking beautiful to sell it and not just having an empty house?
A number of things. Instagram, social media in general has educated a lot of people about a lot of things. I mean, you're in fashion now, people do get it. It's very similar to the stylist who dresses somebody. You know, now you don't have to explain basically what you do. You're either a property stylist or you're both, or you can be an interior stylist, or you can be a clothes stylist. So Instagram's huge. People from 20 to 80, 90, 100 are on it now, so that's one thing. The television shows.
Oh yes, of course. Yes.
The block. The one that's got anyone that's flipping anything. They're on TV now, and they're also on the free-to-air shows that are just in the background. TV shows. There's probably more stylists.
Do you think also real estate agents
have come on board?
They've come on board with that now.
They're also educated. Yes,
and so they understand that.
Well, you're behind the competition if you're not doing it. And we, as professional property stylists, don't mind that whole idea of but everyone does it and it's staged. Well, if everyone's doing it, like anything at the moment in the world, why wouldn't you be doing it? Because you're behind the competition, and buyers are really, really expecting it now. They're almost insulted if they walk in and it's not up to scratch. It's actually not being styled. It's a lot of money. We're in a over $1 million market in general. As a property owner, as a homeowner, even if it's half a block. So your buyers, as I say to my clients, your buyers are coming in here. Let's respect them. They're actually parting with their money. So let's give them something and show them. Let's not just do 2 bedrooms and leave a 3rd bedroom empty. What is that telling you? That we're giving up? That we're not interested? But we want 2.5 million, or we want 2 million? I mean, yes, I'm throwing these figures around, but I'm very, very strong and passionate about it, because to invest something like 5, 6, 7,000 and receive 150,000 to 200,000 on the reverse as your result. I mean,
huge.
What do you think?
Yeah, exactly. And so how did you get into doing property styling? When you were in high school, darling, what happened? And then I'm going to go back further.
I wanted to be in a shop. Everybody wanted to be a shop. You wanted to do this at the little counter, and you played shops with your cousins, and so I was going to be, whatever shops meant.
Just a shop.
Just in retail. I just want to be in a shop. And probably give the wrong change at the time, but that's fine.
Doesn't matter.
Look, I was in hospitality, so my background is hotel management, and I've done William Anglis, and after moving into Australia, and that was my high school, my university style, learning, and so did a little bit of that. But I then went into real estate after travelling around and going through Queensland, as you did with hospitality, and I was in events, and then I put my hat into the ring to do real estate. And
selling real estate?
I did selling real estate.
I reckon you'd be a gun real estate
So that was
agent.
my background. So that really gave me the foundation of property, understanding buyers. It's really interesting when I can go in and say, look, I'm seeing it from you've got a particular eye when you're in styling, full stop.
Yeah, for sure.
There is just something there that you feel. So to say then my background is real estate and sales in Bayside is really phenomenal, because I can actually see it from a buyer's perspective and what we should be selling as a product, and removing a lot of things that my clients think are so important to them, but really are not going to be important to the next person coming in.
Correct.
So real estate was my background, and what was interesting at the time, let's say going back 15 years ago, 16 years ago, property stylists weren't really around. But I met this most amazing woman called Kaz, who's no longer with us, who just was inspiring, and she was doing the whole thing, which is what I do to a degree, which is doing all the lawns, all the trades, fixing up the property before you put in the furniture, and then styling it. So she'd do this whole makeover and transformation. Not a full reno, not a renovation, and not a makeover as such, but certainly getting the house up to scratch. So then all the bones and all the windows and everything is it's saleable. I tried to get into the industry and kept applying and applying and applying to a particular company. But of course, at most of the time that you try to do that, you need experience, and I didn't have experience. I was in real estate selling, which I found very hard because it was 6 days a week. Really wanted to have a family, so I kept applying, and probably third time around I went, I think I'm just going to do it myself.
Yes, I bloody love that. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah,
and you did.
Don't know what that meant. Didn't have a name. Never run a business.
Doesn't matter.
But I remember I wanted to be in shops, so I was
fabulous.
Since then,
Fabulous.
seriously.
Good one. So you just went, I'm going to do it.
Because of rejection.
Yes, and that isn't that funny? No, it's not funny. It's interesting because that's when I speak to a lot of my girlfriends, and me included. It is the rejection that you receive that makes you go, fuck. What? I need to do it myself then, because no one's going to employ me to do this thing. I will just do it, and I'll start my own business.
No one's going to carry you, sister. You need to find it. You've just got to find your own lane.
So many people I know have done that.
It's been tough. I mean, because that was just such a small idea of, oh well, I'll just go and do it.
Yeah.
To business cards, to working from the bedroom. That's the spare bedroom, and then having the baby, and then the baby wants it for the train table, and then you're like, well, okay, I'll just work around it. Still renting. My husband's like, well, okay, this hobby better, hopefully this hobby.
This little side hustle that you've got, and meanwhile you've got like 3 couches in your back room that are just sitting there waiting to be put into a house.
Oh, it's been ridiculous how much time, how many artwork pieces I've put on the wall, taken off the wall. So that's how far I've come.
Yeah, I love
when you know you can keep your art pieces that belong to you, that you
love, in
your
own house,
in your own home, and you don't touch any sofas or any rugs, and you actually are taking things out of your own factory and just feeding it to the family slowly. Okay, when they've wrecked something, then they might get a replacement, right? So I have that forever home. Then I'll put all these beautiful pieces in. But I no longer take artwork off my wall. I have my own factory, and my factory place at the moment, which is only 2 years old, where I'm renting, is exactly the exact site of the company that rejected me.
Really?
That many years ago. Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
I know. Give you goosebumps.
So there you go. That actually did give me goosebumps.
So they moved out. Their factory got knocked down because they were so massive. They moved down to Seaford, and this factory came up. I loved it. It was north facing, etc., etc. And in 2019 in October,
Styleahome inside. There I am.
10 years later.
That's an amazing. That is a really fabulous.
I mean, that's a
story.
snippet because we don't want to bore everyone.
Well, there's a lot of stuff that goes on behind it, because there's when you've got your own business,
there's a lot of drinking,
crying, shaking your fist and going, why?
No money,
no income, hustling and all that sort of stuff. Yeah,
trying to really build your relationships with the agents, which is so difficult to crack into today. It's something that I just want property stylists to know, that just keep your 2 agents and then just keep them happy. Yes, it may not be enough now, but just keep going, because new people come on the block all the time, and after 10 years I've had some go, some come back, and now I just feel they're part of the family. I mean, we're just 2 peas in a pod, and get the couple that really are in the same synergy as you, that really work quite well.
But also understand you, understand the way you do business, understand your aesthetic, understand that you'll get the job done. So that's an excellent journey.
That's one of our things. It's like my slogan when you talk to the agents is Jeanine gets shit done.
Yeah, well,
that's something that I'm just renowned for.
So there you are. You've gone, I'm just going to start it. Build it up, all the behind the scenes that go on. So you end up having a family. You've got 2 beautiful boys. Got a beautiful partner. You're still, running around like a mad woman, like we always do.
Yeah.
School drop-offs, pick-offs,
I still do that. I've got a 9 and a 12, 9-year-old boy and a 12-year-old boy.
And yeah, boys are, you know, a lot. Awesome sport, blah, 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 food. Still trying to squeeze in the 5 food groups every meal and going on, geez, does McDonald's fit into that 5 food groups? I don't know.
Thank God for Uber.
Well, this is the thing. So you're a busy woman just doing what you feel passionate about, and your passion comes through in your business. And how you and I met is quite a few years ago now. We met through one of our beautiful friends, Mitzi.
Correct.
Who is, when she's well enough, she'll be coming on How Fabulous. So Mitzi is, she is in the midst of getting chemotherapy at the moment, and she's one of those awesome chicks that you know, she's a real soul.
She's a soul.
Brave. She's going through all of this, and she introduced us. And I remember you and I had an immediate kind of connection because, you know, we were both born in New Zealand, Aotearoa.
Yes.
And we both have our background is your mama is Maori.
Correct.
As is mine.
Yes. And
we sort of were exchanging stories about what it was like growing up, and I think, you know,
I think we'd be superstars now. If you send this over there, I think
they'll be like, oh my God.
Celebrities.
Yeah, totally.
We've made it.
Totally. And so there was that connection. I think whenever I meet someone who is from New Zealand and has that sort of that background, and you have the shared kind of experience and the small town kind of vibe coming to the big smoke, there is always something that you know, there's that shared experience that does connect you.
And shared humour.
And shared humour.
All about the chicken.
Yeah.
Long story. We won't go into that one. No.
But
it's all about the chicken.
But you were born in New Zealand.
Yes.
But then moved to the Cook Islands, correct?
When I was 7.
When you were 7. So tell us about how that happened.
So after a breakdown of my parents, their marriage, in our culture it's quite common that...
So you're actually, Maori Cook Island.
Correct.
Yeah.
So in our culture, both cultures actually, fairly common that if there is a breakdown in marriages, or if there's a baby that's born that needs assistance, and, you know, there's a young mum or a young dad, the grandparents tend to just step in and take over.
Yeah, it happened with my brother.
You know, like move aside, not sure what you're doing, so we'll take care of it.
Grandparents.
And so therefore they become the parents, I mean, you know, basically. So my grandparents stepped in once the marriage separated, and I had to be sent over to the Cook Islands and basically lived there from the age of 7 without my parents, and my brother stayed with my mother. And so my grandparents brought me up, and they were in their 50s, and I stayed there until I was 16, and before I actually flew here and stayed with an auntie to do the university part of my schooling, because you don't have university in the Cook Islands. And from there is probably where majority of my strength and tenacity and just, you know, initiative and passion. My grandmother used to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning. We lived on this, you know, this land that had chickens and coconuts and avocados, which I never ate there, and now I eat them kind of non-stop here.
What do you mean you never had an avocado?
Mangoes I ate. I know, it's just, you know, things that you do. And so it's probably called just being a rebel. I mean, you just start.
Did you love living there?
Loved it.
Did you look back on your childhood? Do you look back on your childhood in Aotearoa up to 7 and go, I loved living there? Or do you sort of start your life from 7?
Well, because, you know, I've gone through. I guess now it's recognised as motherless mother. So now that's what I felt when I had my boys. So you basically have a bit. I've gone through trauma. So there's that trauma. I mean, trauma can be just all sorts of things. It can just be that loss, family loss, not understanding, not really clearly understanding,
and that real
and not
sense of
having
grief.
Any strength. I mean, there was constant tears. I mean, no strength as such. That in the end, I had to develop. But then I had, you know, today I've got 40 cousins, so I had all these cousins that I could actually grow up with who...
In the Cook Islands?
In the Cook Islands, who were still close. So we all grew up together, so we're very lucky. And there was probably a good 10, 15 of us that really hung out in that age group, like between 7 and 11. And then
that sounds like lots of fun times, quite frankly.
And you were just free. Like we had lots of land. I mean, we are the people of, you know, real serious grounding, a lot of tradition. There's chiefs still, and that tradition is still in there. The culture is obviously different from the Western society. My grandmother was very Westernised, so she was very much go to school, learn English properly, go to school, get some good schooling, and learn business. And then you'd be set for life. That was her main priority. And she had 10 children in total.
Whoa, okay.
Which was also quite common.
Big families.
Kind of in that era.
Big families.
Big families. So then I was like number 11 though. So it's just like, what a crazy...
So
who would do that, you know?
Do you think that made you more... Like, did you have to be independent? So you felt this sense of community and whānau, but not, you know, but... one of so many, did it make you feel like you had to be more independent or less independent?
Well, then I'd had Dad's brothers and sisters around, so they were kind of like my brothers and sisters too, because Dad's youngest brother was still around at home and he was kind of dating and stuff, so there was always people. It's probably why, like, you know, I have this dream to have this house that's big enough to just constantly have people over.
Yeah, I love that.
Stay.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just what I grew up with, you know, 5-bedroom home, don't go into the special room which had all the ferns in it, you know, that's you know, that's something that I grew up with. So that's the whole probably property side of things too, and loving this homely feeling, understanding it, and really being able to go from, you know, I do probably look at 100 properties in a year, and that's all this part of being house proud, having lots of people in, understanding what the buyers are thinking, and doing really loving family homes. So this is probably where it all stems back from. That's where it all started from. It totally did, and lots of cooking. You know, my grandmother cooked a lot, my grandfather cooked a lot.
And what were the kind of you know, 3 things a week she would cook? Like, what's the food? What's the food there?
Chicken. We ate a lot of green. It's called ruko. Bit of coconut cream goes through everything. Raw fish. Pigs that would be, you know, smoked and just succulent, lots of chicken. We had eggs coming out from our, you know, I don't know if there was 50, if they felt like there was 50, it was probably only 10, but to me it felt like there was 50 chickens. But she would just curry chicken, noodles. It's something that my 9-year-old really just encompasses now. It's like he already has it. He eats lots of rice. We ate lots of rice. He eats a lot of noodles. He loves Asian food, and it's just a natural thing that we, you know, there's a lot of carbs, which they're changing a lot now. They all go to the gym in the Cook Islands and they're all very fit. Everything's fit. Everything's so fit, and watching all this coconut cream. But when we were growing up, it was the greatest. It was the greatest. I mean, it's something that I love to go back to. It's just the
Have you
food.
taken your boys back?
Only my eldest.
And did he love it?
So say the eldest, you know, gets everything.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you know, runs with... My second's probably the better one, who will just run with no shoes, etc. I could take them in September, but we're locked down. So, well, we're not locked down. We're not able to actually fly over there. It's not open to us, but my family are flying over. Quite a number of family members are flying over and doing something there. So, yeah, it'll come.
Yeah. What a wonderful life. And so
it was.
And so your grandma...
It was hard.
Is your grandma still around?
No, she passed last year.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. So, but she sounded like a really strong lady.
Sorry, she passed this year. I've lost the year.
Where are we? 2021?
Yeah.
Oh. But she was a strong lady.
She was ridiculously strong. She was really the leader of the family. She was really strict. I had the really strict upbringing.
Really?
Yeah, really strict.
Well, she would have had to keep some kind of order with these 11 children. You know, I think that's probably what
she was,
you know,
really
a lot
tough.
of women in that situation would be doing. You've got to just, you know, you can't be everyone's best friend, because you've got to get.
And she was working
11 people
way up till, you know, 60 odd. I mean, she's just kept working.
Really? And did she end up coming out here, or she was
New
still
Zealand.
in the? She went to New Zealand.
Yeah,
right.
A lot of them go from there to New Zealand. So
hang out.
Yeah, hang out, go to shops and, you know, talk to all the ladies, have a coffee, have a tea. It's big loss for my cousin because she was really looking after Nan, and she, you know, COVID, etc. It's very sad that that we lost her.
But what a lovely thing, what a lovely legacy to leave behind, and I bet you she was so proud of you.
Yeah, she was, actually.
Did you understand what you did?
Well, I was trying to show her through the factory. And show her on FaceTime, and she was just like eating her totally with it, but she just kept saying, yeah, okay then, all right, okay, got to have my tea now, okay, yes, so good, right, okay, bye now. I'm like, I'm not finished. I just kept saying, I'm not finished, but nothing changes. She was really good towards the end of her life. She was just amazing.
And so do you think then you'll continue doing this as a business?
Well, it's really interesting because a really close girlfriend of mine, a couple of girlfriends have sold their businesses, or one selling her business, and it's probably a bit of a question at the moment after COVID shutting down businesses last year. We doubled our business, so we're actually in the busiest time ever. So at this point of time, we are also in a cracking selling market in Melbourne.
Which is interesting because remember during COVID there was a lot of doom and gloom, and they were saying, oh my God, the prices of properties is dipping, it's just going to go, you know, plummeting. Hello, the opposite happened.
Well, I mean, 15 years, it's probably 20 years that we've never seen this type of activity. It's just been incredible.
So whoever those experts were that predicted that were wrong.
Well, and also people are just not travelling, you know, they're just not able to travel, so they're reassessing their lives. And going back to your question, I've actually ventured off and we pivoted a lot. I mean, I know that lots of people did last year, but I did. I was just really gung-ho in keeping this business afloat, and I just got into that factory and I was just going to make it happen. And I've always started this business when I had no money, with this vision that I'll take it all the way, I'll get it to where it is today, have a great wage, great profit, which I'm still working on a larger profit over the next 2 years, and I'll always keep it for my children. Now that's probably stemming back from my own family, my grandparents who had property. There was developments that are over in the Cook Islands that family members were able to buy into, and basically we keep our land. So you can lease things, you can lease your land for 90 years or 20 years, but you can't sell your land. So for me, I've always had that culture of, I'm always going to have this business. I've already told my children that
whether you like it or not,
they can have this business, they can sell it, one can manage it, one can buy the other one out. Let's hope that it's, you know, still profitable by then.
I'm sure it will be.
So they can do what they need, but that's my legacy that I'd like to leave them. So that's what I'm working towards. So I now then have left this going, ticking along, doing our 7 to 10 jobs, putting on a beautiful staff member now and helping me do the styling. We both go out to the consults and we both work on the business, on the actual jobs and bring them together. So it's now at another level. She's been with me for a month, and I'm actually doing the interior decorating now. So I'm doing clients who are sick of their homes, who want me to go in, have an eye, have a vision, have a look around, and just improve it. Really improve the environment, because they're over their offices, because they're working from home, they're over that second living.
Hello, sorry about that.
That's all right.
It always rings.
Answer it, it's fine.
Hello.
I got all day.
Yeah. Well, this is an interesting thing as well, because there are so many people, because we A, can't go overseas, B, we spent so much time in our spaces.
So much time.
And C, many of us are still working from home. The home has become such an important place, where it was maybe before a place to dump your shit and run.
And go
out somewhere else. Yeah, and go overseas and do whatever.
Go to Italy. Yeah.
Now our homes, our space, whatever that is, big, small, or rented or bought.
It's incredible.
it's so much more important to us. And yeah, never busier. And people are going, how do I incorporate a flipping office into, into our home? So this is wonderful. And don't you find that people are more open to actually having someone in helping them do that?
Correct.
It's no longer like not a celebrity thing, or if you're just, really rich and whatever.
Correct.
It's everybody can get help to do that, whether it's a consult or whether someone does the whole thing.
Correct. It's so exciting.
Leave it up to the people that know how to do it and can walk in, like you and like me and like, a lot of other interior designers. And it's just a lovely thing to be able to say,
so lovely. Your
house is your home, babe.
It's your haven.
Yeah, it's your haven. This is the thing. Fantastic. And so there's that. So you're doing all of that. You're leaving it over to your sons. Do you think that you would ever change business? Do you think you'd ever get out of the real estate business as well? Could you imagine yourself going back to hospitality for a change?
Well, they say when you lose your love for something, you lose your passion for something, you're no longer interested in doing your installs and styling for whatever purpose, because you've done it too long. It just goes. That just feeling just goes. At this stage, no, I don't think I'll ever leave this type of furnishing people's homes. So I've gone into interiors, and my other passion or my other aim and idea that I've always had from the moment I started is to sell furniture packages. Now, whatever that means, but it's becoming more and more common that I do have somebody that's got an apartment or that's got a home that just wants a whole package for their living room. So to be the sofa, the rug, the coffee table, the cabinet for the drinks cabinet now, which has become quite popular.
Oh my God, everyone's got a drinks cabinet.
Everyone wants a drinks cabinet. Everybody wants a bar cart. Everybody is wanting your TV units still, even though your TV's on the wall. So I'd like to have that package as my package. Now, what that looks like, I have no idea.
You'll work that one out.
Because it's like, how are you going to get this stuff from which is generally over in Vietnam or China or Thailand or your local suppliers, and onto the ship, and then ensure that your clients are happy. So that would mean another logistical plan, which means that I would like to store them in a warehouse. And then everyone's like, what, that's more storage, and how are you going to do that? Again, that would be something that I need to work on once I've got this secure, but I've already dabbled in that, so that's probably going to be, it's that shop thing, going back to the shop. It's just what I'd love to do, is that you just click, with Instagram now with the little dots, and you click on that, and then you've got this whole package. You can buy it all, bang, it gets delivered, and you don't have to wait. Because at the moment, waiting periods for furniture is the reason why that you want a stylist to navigate what, where and how, no matter what you're spending, whether it's $1,000 to $2,000 on a sofa to $4,000, that's what we do. We navigate for our clients the wheres and the whats and the hows, and let them know, well, let's go to plan A. Let's leave plan B because it's cheaper. Let's go back to plan A, because if we just spend a bit more, which is a lifetime of a sofa, we're going to get it in a couple of weeks. So that's where we come into navigating it for them, and that's what I find is becoming quite important, don't you feel?
Yeah, absolutely.
Of what our jobs truly are. We're not just Jeanine and getting some cushions down at the local.
I think that idea of a stylist just fluffing around doing fluff is so outdated and wrong and incorrect. It's just incorrect. There's a whole lot more.
Thank goodness.
Creating the big picture, and there's a lot of time.
Because that
and
keeps
love
us
and
in business. Because if we were just known as fluffers,
well then we would be called fluffers.
We wouldn't be sitting here.
We wouldn't be sitting here. That's right.
Look how important we are now.
I know. Hello. Look at us. Well, thank you so much. It's been lovely
pleasure.
getting to know you and getting to know your story and hearing about what has really guided your journey and where it's going to go, and we will keep that's such a lie, we will put all of the information about how to get in touch with you
thank you
underneath our little post, blah blah. What am I trying to say here? You know what I'm trying to say. we'll let people know how they can contact you at Styleahome.
Thank you
so much,
darling.
Jeanine. Thanks, Stella.
Appreciate it.
Bye.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh. Thank you, beautiful.